Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. So last time did the shape bank and precision windows up to silver. And this one seems to be polyomino, so I'm guessing it's a polyomino window. That can't go that way. So I think it has to go this way. Means that one has to go that way. Those have to go horizontally. So I can have two symbols in one area. Oops. And I can also have no symbols in an area. And I don't know whether that one continues down or across. You don't need to place whole shapes at once. It can be useful to colour an incomplete part of a shape. Does that go up or down? I see. So actually I shouldn't have finished that one off because it could of course go down, and I think it may well have to go down, so I can push that one up, that one across. Neighbouring regions must have different shapes. Oh, that's a new row. And this path is no longer on this window. Okay, what's wrong with that? It's two across. Yeah, it's a whole other region down there. Stick up at the top for the moment. That one's forced. Means this one is now forced. Forces this one, which forces that. Nice little spiral. That's going to have to go like that. I don't know if it then goes left or right. Whichever it does, takes in two pieces. Mark all of those coming out. Oh, interesting. So that piece forced the direction that these had to come together, and that had to come together with that. I'm not sure how I was supposed to tell which direction. Okay. Two by 5. That has to be vertical, that has to be horizontal, that has to be vertical, that has to be vertical. I can put this way. I don't think there's any reason not to. It does also mean I have to extend at least one this way. So I'll do that. Vertical, horizontal, vertical, vertical, and vertical. Eek, 3 by 4. Or it could be 3 by 4 vertically, so let's not jump to conclusions. Two by 4 has to be vertical. Can be up there, or could be down there. This can only use those 3 columns. It has to extend up into that row, it could go entirely down. This one, 4, so it has to go at least 3 across, and it has to come 2 up because it can't fit in vertically. So now this one does have to go up. That can only fit there. Okay. Maybe still polyomino. Shape bank and polyomino. Hang on, let's just check where I am on this. So one more in the restoration. Another level 3. Try this. Ooh. Okay, this looks a bit harder. Five across and one up. So 4 across and something up and extending one more. If this one just went in the obvious cells for it, then this is going to overlap with that. So this one has to be rotated. So if we rotate it and put those in, then this one could be upside down. And this one has to come up 4 and out 2 is doable, except this one isn't working now. This has to be horizontal, although it could be either way up. But sticking the point downwards I don't think helps anything. I turn this 180 degrees so I've got 4 at the top, then there's nowhere I can take it 2 down. So it has to either be the way it's written or rotated 90 degrees. Okay, I'm going to mark in that as being the only way I can see to fit this one in. This one yeah. And that works. That was a nice little packing problem. The shape of things, restore the polyomino window. Okay, let's keep on going a little bit on polyominoes. Oops. All regions have to be squares or P's. That one's going to have to be P. That one's going to have to be a P. That one has to be a pink square. Okay, these are still in the same region. That is a plus, so it has to go like that. And I need a 2 and a 2. And another plus. 2. 2. 2. Now I think I may have an issue here because that leaves an odd number of cells and there's nowhere else to place the plus symbol. Those were forced. This one wasn't forced. So that's 35. I need to fit 3 pluses in. If I do it that way, then I have left with an odd cell, so that doesn't work. That one does have to go down into the gap. Means I'm forced to put another plus up here. That's fine, except I cannot use any more plus symbols. So let's take that out. And yeah, the Control P to count spaces was quite handy with that one. 5 more. Then it has to go either left or right. This, I think, is going to have to go that way. This one has to go 3 and then either left or right. That has to be that. So I need 2 L's and 1 elbow. And I'm not sure that I can. Oh, Yeah, it helps if you actually complete the other shapes first before counting how many are left. 2. Another one hiding down there. 54. And that one's easy. Now these are all 7 threes, and all either horizontal or vertical. So that one has to be vertical. Doesn't necessarily have to go up. That has to be horizontal and has to come out. And I didn't have to come out 3, of course. And let's take off those bits I know. Is there anything really stopping this just being whichever way round I choose? Yeah, there is. So there's 8 left. Should have counted them sooner. That means there's 2 left over that are not parts of 3s, and they may have to be 2 blank cells. Right. So I actually got around to counting the blank cells. The solution's forced. Okay, can't see any more in that lower section. That goes with the precision window, I think. Does that one go with the precision? Yes, it is. So we have exactly 2 regions. And this has to join onto here. Which forces the solution. Okay, so that was a spare one on what I'm trying to do at the moment, which is to fill another window. Yeah, one hiding around here. Okay, that has to go in the corner. That will go down or across. It goes down that way, it blocks this off. So I think it has to come out. couldn't see the rotation for the S shape. I need one more for silver. Where is it hiding? I don't think this one counts. I think this one's going on to the next area. Oh, that was hidden away. I have no idea what difficulty it is. All regions are either a 4x4 with a 2x2 missing. Any 4x4 is going to have to go around one of those and have that in the middle. But of course it can go either way. And it can't go this way because that one gets blocked off. It goes up around this one, that top 3 cells are blocked off, so it has to go around here. But which position does it fit into? That's interesting. Yeah, so you have to go like that and join up either down here and down here. Now that stops it going any further. I think that has to go like that. And that should be silver. Yes. And now we have a lot of new polyominoes appeared, but we'll continue with my current theme of just doing to silver. And move on to this one, which has the mingle shapes rule. So that has to be surrounded by squares. No, that's not going to work because this cannot have another 2x1 next to it. Now, does that go left or right? I don't know, but this has to be straight, either vertical or horizontal. Means that this has to be a T-piece, either vertical or horizontal. That I think has to be straight. Neighbouring regions must have different shapes, and draws a window. Each region contains exactly one of each circle, triangle, and square. So circle has to go to triangle, has to go to square. Circle to square cannot be a straight line. Triangle is going to go somewhere. This cannot simply come down for a T-piece, or for an elbow piece. It has to do something different. I think the only different thing it can do is come across here. Yeah. So these two shapes look like I just divide down the middle, but they have to be different. So where can they bleed across from one end to the other? And the answer is only by taking these in one shape and these in the other. So we might, for example, do that. Exit both. That has to be at least a T-piece. That has to not be a T-piece. And I just scuppered myself. And let's extend that. So these two cannot touch, and these two cannot touch. W is not touching is going to be interesting. And lots of ones to fill out this space. Oh, there's a lot of puzzles in this region. That's how it looks. I don't know, actually, that could be a 1. So okay, I'm not quite sure of the logical steps for that, because it just looked as though it all went together that way. Okay, there's 3. Oh, there's a 1 over here. Let's grab the easy fruit whenever we can. Difficulty 2. Take the camera off. You can see the difficulty. Okay, this is going to be interesting. There's 10 those. Okay, so some of the shapes at least have 2 polyominoes inside them. But I can't let any of these touch. Yeah, so that's going to be a tricky one to fit in without running into either these or this. You fairly obviously can fit that one in. It's just this one that doesn't look obviously as though it can be done, but it can. Okay, how are we doing? 9 more to go. Just okay. What's next? There's another 2. There's the 2. Yep, let's just follow around, making sure nothing touches orthogonally. Restore the Mingle Shape Window. So I need another 8 to silver it. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 6 difficulty hiding around the corner. Ones and threes, and 32 altogether. Not sure the altogether is going to... So I can't do that, because then I've either got 2 ones together or got another elbow. If I do that, and then put 2 ones in, then that breaks. This cannot exist, but that's fine. Yeah. So once you've worked out that you've got to avoid having any space that's adjacent to both shapes, so that goes through nicely. Okay. Oh dear, getting too overconfident on that. If I put T in the corner, then I have to surround it by those. It doesn't matter if I put it the other way around in the corner, it's still going to do the same thing. And I have to put T in either here or here or here, all of which give the problem on that. So I think that one has to be a 1. Nice. Well, I have to do that much, but then I can continue either making this into an elbow and having a 2 there, or I have 2 and have elbows both sides. I will go with one of them and see why it breaks, if indeed it does break. Not happy that I had no way of telling how this started, and I think I was just lucky. Right, that's either 2 or 3. That one has to be 2, which means that one has to be 3. For this one, at least I do know how to start. That continues out one side or the other, and I don't know which. Go around and do. There's a 3 here and a 3 here, which means I think they both have to go up with a 2 in the middle. Means that has to be 2, a bit dark. Yeah. And that is forced. That has to be a 1 as well. That has to be a 3 by 3. That has to be a 3 by 1. That has to be a 3 by 1. That has to be a 1 by 1. Give me orange. Oh, have I broken it? Because that cannot be anything. So what was wrong with my logic? That definitely had to come out there. That could only be 1 by 1. That not be either of these two, so it has to be 3 by 3. Can't put ones up here. That one can't go horizontally. It's something I must have got wrong further down, I think. Oh, yeah, okay, that's, and the same up here. It had to be a 1 by 3, but not right in the bottom. Okay. That's forced. That's forced. Could be 2 by 1, could be 2 by 3. That comes at least to here, but I don't know if that's finished. I don't even know if it's finished across the top. Yeah. Yeah, it could be a 2 by 3 coming up. No, if it's 2 by 3 coming up, that would have to be 2 by 1, which doesn't fit. So, but that one can still vary. This has to be 2 by 3, which means that this one must be 2 by 2. That one is a 2 by 1. If it goes horizontally, then we need another 2 by 1, so it has to go vertically. That one has to be 2 by 3. That has to be 2 by 1. That one has to be 2 by 2. Oh, I see. So that has to extend. Right. That has to be 2 by 1. This has to be a 2 by 1 vertically. This one has to be either 2 by 2 or 2 by 3. That has to be 2 by 2. This one has to come to here. This one has to be a 2 by 3. Another 2 by 1. And That touches everything but a square, so it has to be a square. That touches both of those, so it has to be a 2 by 3. Yeah. But this cannot be a 2 by 3. Oh, it can be a square, of course. But somehow persuaded myself this was either 2 by 1 or extended all the way out as 2 by 3. When of course it wasn't. How many more of these? 2 more. Get this to silver. Neighbouring regions must have different shapes, so this has to be an elbow and a square. It could be either way around. And that has to be a square and an elbow. Elbow and square. Fine. Yeah, if I'd gone the other way around, they would have run into each other fairly quickly. So although I didn't work it all out, I would have very quickly seen if I'd got it wrong. That has to go like that. This has to do something. That doesn't work. That cannot come down. It's going to have to go up like that. Oh, I can leave empty spaces. So I can do something with this one, like that. It actually has to be that though. This can't come down that way. That there's only one way now it can complete, which is that. This has to go down, and then either left or right. This one now has only one way it can complete. Or in fact 2 ways it can do that. Just as well because that has to do that. Okay, I'm going to pretend that I didn't see myself do that. And that's silver. Okay, let's just do a couple more of these since I haven't quite hit an hour yet. can't be an S. It must be an L that could be flat on its back, could be going up this way. If that's an L, then this one would also end up as an L. And that's an S. That's an L. This is an L. So I think they have to be the same. That has to be the S. That's a bit of an L. That's a bit of an L. I could go down like that. That. No, I can't go up like that, because then this would be forced to be an L. This is an L. And let's look at this. If this was this, then there's no way to fill in all around it with S shapes and still leave the corners. If it was now like this, then completely scuppered on that bit. If it was now like that, and again there's no way of getting S shapes that follow the Mingle Shape rule, so I think that has to be an S. How far back are these hidden? Okay, difficulty 4. That's a 2, that's a 3, that doesn't have to be a square, it could be a 3 here and a 2 here. This does have to be a 2. This has to be part of the square. That has to be 3. That has to be part of 2, but I don't know which way it goes. This one has to be part of 2. And I don't know which way it goes. Go up and fit another square in here. This is either extension of this, or we have a square. If we extend this one, then we have a 3 by 1 up there, and 3 by 1, 2 by 1, and we can't turn it that way. So I think that has to go up, if I looked at it right. I don't know if this is a square. See, if that's a square, then that's 2 by 1, that's 3 by 1, that one's another square, that goes up, that comes out either 2 or 3, comes out 2, I can put a 3 by 1 out here, I can't put a 2 by 1 on this. Yeah, 2 doesn't work, so it has to be a 3 by 1. That has to be horizontal 3 by 1. to be a 2x1. Okay, that was quite a nice one. Right, I will leave that there. Thank you very much for watching, and next time I'll continue on into the next region, whatever the next region may be. Goodbye. Please hit like and subscribe.